Business over at B.B. Comer this past weekend. A big fundraiser was held at the school, and to talk about that and more is Randy Caine of the B.B. Comer Alumni Association. Randy, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Jimmy Dale.
A big night tonight, too. This is, what is this, week
about
number?
Fourth night.
Fourth week.
Fourth night.
And talk about what we're doing there at the karate school in conjunction with the B.B. Comer Alumni Association.
We got together with the instructors at the school a month or so ago and thought we would collaborate together in having a self-defense awareness class each Monday night, having children at 5:30 to 6:30, the adults 6:30 to 7:30, and we've also got our local police involved to talk about crime in the area, some awarenesses that we should all be aware of. We talk to a lot of people and say, well, I carry this and I got that in my pocket and so forth, but there's a lot of cases where you can't always just pull your gun out.
Yeah.
So this is a close-up, hands-on sort of training, and really just basic, simple stuff. We started off with just basic stances, balance, because you can't do much of anything without your balance, and then building on it from some blocks, some moves, some things of that nature. And then the third week was some kicking techniques. And then tonight we've got the policeman. Actually, he's a Marine from, he went to Afghanistan. He's a local policeman. We've not posted any photos or anything like that because we had to check with the police chief and those sort of policies. We didn't want to put anybody in harm's way. But he's one of our locals. Been training for over 30 years in the martial arts and some tactical skills, and he'll be demonstrating that tonight and be talking about some of the things going on in our community.
So if you haven't been able to be a part of the other 3 Monday nights, you can still be a part of tonight, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We've had new ones walk in each week, and then what we do is we take them to the side and we kind of show them what the first steps, the second steps, and kind of get them comfortable into getting involved into the next class. It's kind of a quick thing since you missed the first one, but tonight we've opened it up to where you may not want to participate in the kind of the blocking, punching kind of stuff, but you're welcome to come and watch and hear the officer talk about things in the community as well, watching him demonstrate. The black belts in the class, they come to help be not a sparring partner, but a partner to demonstrate some of the techniques.
Was it $5 per person?
Yep, it's $5 per person, and while we're charging $5 per person, we have a project at Comer School where we're trying to help Coach Fawcett. He's in need of some helmets. This year they've got probably 22, 23 more players than they ended up with last year.
That's a good problem to have.
That's a good problem to have, and they've not needed to get into the other helmets sitting on the rack. So once he went through them, found a number of them out of compliance. So we're trying to do little projects around to try to raise money. And I played football at B.B. Comer, so I'm trying to raise enough money to buy a couple football helmets.
There's a big event over at B.B. Comer on Saturday, too.
Yes, it was. Before I go into that, Saturday was a big day for a number of things. Saturday was the annual ALS walk in Birmingham at Railroad Park.
Right.
Randy Caroline and I went up and participated in it with some family members. And then we came back, and then Coach Fawcett and all the coaches were cooking and chickens out there by the school. And he had a nice setup. I mean, it's a pretty elaborate deal. And he's been doing it for 6 or 7 years through Winterboro, Childersburg, and other places he's been. So yeah, if you missed that chicken fry, I bought 2 baskets of it. So and it was pretty good. So and let's see, I think it was like 450 chickens. He sold them all, but about 15. And then I talked to Coach last night. I said, "What'd you do with the 15? Surely you didn't eat them." He said, "No, he went up and gave them to the fire department."
That's a good deal.
Good deal.
Now there was some special guests there Saturday too.
Well, there was a number of people there. Cynthia Sexton had karaoke going, one of our old classmates, but all the coaches were there. We got to meet Coach Hale and Coach Hardy. They were doing all the cooking. And Coach Hale, here's another, I want to throw a plug out real quick that we're working on. We're talking about doing a alumni basketball tournament. And we're going to invite all schools. It's not going to be just old timers from B.B. Comer. We're going to try to engage Childersburg, Fayetteville, Talladega, whoever wants to play in it. We hadn't got that far yet. Coach Hale and I are going to work on that. But he wants to do that and have it one Saturday when basketball season gets a little bit closer.
Were there former players there as well on Saturday?
Yeah, they were, but everybody was so scattered out. There were tables around for the Beta Club, Math Club, Science Club, Alumni. Lord, I ran into so many. I was looking for...
Somebody told me Damian Jeffrey was there. I don't know if he was or not.
I didn't see Damian, but I went into the school because, you know, Damian's jersey's retired, Marcus Knight's jersey's retired, and we retired Coach Harold Brooks. I wanted to get some photographs of that and promote those guys because they were icons of B.B. Comer and went on to be very successful, not only at the college level and All-American, but also played professional sports.
Randy Caine, our guest this morning from B.B. Comer Alumni Association. B.B. Comer opens its season on Friday night at the stadium against Winterboro, and it's just not a season opener. It's got a very special flavor to it.
It does. Coach Fawcett's going to do a number of things for home games. He's going to be honoring a number of people, and this first game opener is going to be honoring Coach Jabbo Cobb, a friend of mine that I played ball with and was just a good friend through high school and on afterwards playing men's softball. And you see these hats out here in the front. Yes, I'm an Alabama fan, but I've been talking to Joanne. And Joanne, actually we're meeting this afternoon. Joanne is going to give me one of Jabbo's jerseys and one of his hats. And Ronnie Waters and I got a chance to visit with Jabbo a few weeks before he passed away, and we spent several hours with him. And I guess we probably talked 80% of our time about Alabama football and his experiences with Alabama football and Bear Bryant. There's some stories I didn't even know that he had met Bear Bryant and was really engaged in all that. And so this right here is in honor of Jabbo. We're waiting on college football, I know that, but he coached for B.B. Comer a long period of time and made such an impact on so many kids.
Well, he was there during that era where the Jeffries, the Willie Jones, and some of these other guys were being recruited by all these college coaches, and Jabbo's told some stories about that. Not only was he a football coach there, he's a defensive coordinator, but he was also the basketball coach there too.
He was. Jabbo and I played ball against each other, and we played on the same teams together. Jabbo Cobb was an outstanding baseball player. Could shoot the ears off of a basketball and tough as nails in football. So he was a well-rounded athlete in all sports. And the kids just love him. Just everybody you run into that talks about this, they'll tell a story about him and Jabbo. And Jabbo loved those kids. You know, it wasn't just X's and O's and play on Friday night. He really cared for those kids. And so I know he reached out to these colleges and universities that he saw potential in these players to where they could go to the next level. And that was just Jabbo's heart. He just, and this Friday night, let's see, I've got the times down here. There's going to be a pregame tailgate party starting at 6 o'clock. And Jabbo's family will be there. Joanne and Kelly and the family will be there. If you played ball, you coach with him, you just work with him, you just knew him, and you want to meet his family, they're going to honor the family this Friday night starting at 6 o'clock in front of Bobby Overton's Fieldhouse at the stadium. And then at 6:50, there will be a formal recognition of Jabbo and the work that he's done as a coach at high school.
You know, at B.B. Comer, it's a new era with Coach Fawcett and Coach Jabbo Cobb coached there for so many years, and not only was a coach but an educator. And you mentioned how much he loved those kids and loved competing, and that's what Adam Fawcett wants to bring back to B.B. Comer, that competitiveness that is a part of winning football games, and they start against Winterboro Friday night.
They do, and we've been over to watch a few practices, and we've met Coach Hardy, which he brought with him, that's been with him for several times, and Coach Brown and Coach Hale, and all of them are out there. They're working the daylights out of them boys, but they're getting ready. And one great thing I want to tell you, I know the last few years, Comer ended up with 20 players, and I think last year they ended up with like 12 or 14 at the end of the year. Well, he started out with over 50 at spring practice, and there's still 48 with him. and that will dress out. And then I don't know who they are, but he signed on 3 more kids a couple weeks ago that it's going to put him over 50 kids to dress out for junior varsity as well as varsity.
Now, they having to get new helmets.
Yep.
And new uniforms as well, I understand.
Well, we're working on that too. There was a little over $20,000 need to get some of these things into compliance, to have the kids ready for the things that they need. So we did the golf tournament. We gave the alumni gave $5,000. We partnered with the boosters. They gave $5,000 to help him get started in the most immediate needs. And then Biddy posted something on Facebook about reaching out to a wide group of people, and we've raised a little over $2,000 doing that. That people just mailed in checks or dropped in Biddy's shop. And we're meeting with Coach, it's either this afternoon or in the morning, to give him that additional $2,000 towards the need. And then once we finish up with the karate self-defense thing, we got a few $100s saved up there. We're going to donate that to get a couple helmets.
Now, the B.B. Comer Alumni Association actually started and continues to be the forerunner in scholarship dollars too.
Yeah. Yes, about 3 years ago, we decided we needed to spread this out in academics as well. So in the last 2 years, we've given 6 students at Comer, we've given out $7,000. And we've given a scholarship to a Sylacauga student each year, because the Sylacauga Aggies has been very supportive for us, and they've helped us in our golf tournament and our concerts and things. They've all come to help and participate. So we felt like we need to give back. And so that's what we've done. We've given 2 to Sylacauga each year, and 6 so far at Comer for a total of about $7,000. And we hope to continue that. And that's the reason that we set up a table at the school the other day as well to see those that could join the Alumni Association. That's $25 a year, and that fee goes towards the scholarship program that we're trying to do.
Randy Caine, our guest this morning, and he, along with others of B.B. Comer Alumni Association, very involved in our community, and with the karate school tonight, the final night of that. And rumor has it, and you know, we like to fuel those fires when it comes to rumors, especially about good things. That Randy Caine is coming out of retirement for good, and he's going on the karate circuit one more time.
No.
I don't think so, huh?
I'll tell you a story. I was 42 years old, and I did go to a karate tournament up North Alabama. And it's too long to tell you how all that works, but they lined me up next to a guy that I'd beaten several times before. And as soon as the referee said go, I saw it coming in slow motion. It was a back fist, and he hit me right between the eyes, and I didn't move quite as quick as I used to. And I thought, I'd better start slowing down a little bit. I'm not coming out of retirement like some do and get,
Now, but you actually started in this a long time ago.
I did. In the early 70s, I got involved in it. I saw a guy kicking around, and I thought, man, I'd love to know how to do that. So I started taking classes, and between playing after high school, men's softball and the karate stuff too. So, but it got a hold of me to where I was going out of town, out of state, and training with the best of the best. And then when I got a black belt, I opened my first karate school over on Avondale Avenue. And I remember, if you remember the name Jimmy Lee Smith and Billy Joe Smith, they walked in the door. And I thought, oh my goodness, I don't know if I've trained enough for these two, you know.
Probably not.
I think I told one of my assistants, go get my nunchucks. I might need them. But speaking of Jimmy Lee, I went to his service Saturday evening in between the Comer thing. And, you know, Jimmy Lee passed away from ALS as well. And I got a chance to meet with his kids and his family and talk with them a little bit. And if they ever needed anybody to talk to, I was the one.
Well, ALS has certainly been something that you guys have dealt with as a family for a number of years, and I know that walk is a special thing to you and your family still.
Absolutely, and Saturday morning it was a beautiful weather. The last 2 years it had rained. The first year that when Christy was still with us, it was raining, but we still walked. Last year it was a little bad weather, but this year was perfect weather, and it was an absolute turnout. And for those that don't know, in Alabama there's about 4.2 million people, give or take a number or two. And there's a little over 400 people in the state of Alabama that's dealing with ALS. I also participated in the Florida chapter of ALS, and there's over 20 million people in the state of Florida. And on average, there's at least 1,700 people in that state it's dealing with it too. And there's 6,000 new cases of ALS per year nationwide. So it's a terrible thing to go through, and we just go to help and support because we've been there, seen it, walk the walk, and I guess we'll do this until I can't get there.
Yeah. Randy Caine, our guest this morning. Don't forget, over at B.B. Comer, the B.B. Comer Winterboro game on Friday night, they're going to be honoring the legacy of Coach Ty Cobb. And the pregame will be over at the field house about 6 o'clock, is that right?
6 o'clock, starts at 6.
And be a part of that at the B.B. Comer, Coach Bobby Overton field house, and then the game at 7 o'clock, B.B. Comer and Winterboro. Randy, always a pleasure. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Jimmy Dale. Appreciate it, brother.
More Daybreak right after this.